Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the answer is? Do you think men, because when I hear that question, my mind goes two ways. One way is I've seen men take some really, really bad deals in my lifetime.
Mhm.
But I think social media also has opened the floodgates where women used to be a lot more deceptive and they can't be.
Mhm.
Like, I see like on TikTok and stuff, women getting like ratioed when they tell like a abuse story, or do you know what I mean? Like, and that just never used to happen like 10 years ago. So,
Mhm.
uh, or men, realizing that they're the bailout guy,
Mhm.
where I don't like 10 years ago, they just kind of fell for it because we didn't have all this media.
Mhm.
That's my initial thought, but I don't have an answer. So I'm curious what you think.
Well, like, okay, if I had to answer my own question, I would say that, you know, so masculinity is almost like this pre-scripted idea, that this identity that men have to follow, where I guess you like, okay, man up and get married, or okay, if you don't do A, B, and C, you're not a real man. So masculinity is also the first thing that's promoted when they want to control men. And I think that you see tradcons doing this. You even see some red pillars doing this.
Mhm.
They will say things like, oh, you've got really feminine energy right now, or you're a beta male, or you're a simp, or you're a weak man, or you're gay.
Mhm.
First thing, and I think that the strongest men are the ones who don't fall prey to that.
Mhm.
Even following up in that logic train, I was going to say, do you think it's true that our society is more willing to accept gay men than it will accept straight men who don't meet masculinity standards?
Oh my gosh, that's such I yeah, I think you're right. Like they're more willing to accept
Well,
gay men than yeah.
so then why do we see gay men as more oppressed than straight men when straight men can't even be themselves without
Wow.
following this masculine script?
Have you done a video with that one
That's
yet?
coming up.
Okay, that was like that is a great line of questioning.
Thank you.
Wow. Um no, cuz you're totally right. Like people will shame. I mean, I even use the simp one. I can't help it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that
Yeah, no,
it's all about, that's just, you see it everywhere on social media.
mm,
Women do it, tradcons do it, some red pillars do it.
yeah.
It's like this is what a real man is supposed to be. And I'm
Mhm.
saying, well, why? Another line of questioning that I've used in a past episode was when we talk about what empowers men and what empowers women.
Mhm.
Why is female empowerment all about liberation and choice, while men's empowerment is all about masculinity, duty, and sacrifice, which is actually the opposite of liberation and choice? How can what empowers one gender be the opposite of what
Right.
empowers the other? So for women, it's more freedom, and for men, it's more duty and responsibility. And so what's going on here,
So, what is your goal with your content? Do you have like an end goal that you're hoping to achieve, or I'm just kind of curious what like in 5 years you're hoping to get?
I think that we need to have more honest conversations about what masculinity truly means,
Mm,
what it means to be a man, what the expectations are of women, what the expectations are of society. I think that what's happening right now is, are we going to accept a world of double standards, or are we going to try to, level the playing field and actually have equality? Now, what's happening is a lot of times people say, well, men and women can't be equal because we're not the same. But I don't think that's necessarily true, because nobody in our society is truly the same, but we should, different races aren't the same, but we should all have equal rights under the law.
mhm.
We have equal justice. So I think that, just to say that men and women, should there be double standards just because we're not the same? I mean, I understand that, we have different strengths and we have different weaknesses, but I think that, to have these very strict roles is a very kind of a strange idea in a society where the laws aren't the same, the technology is different. It's a completely different culture. And I think that a question I wanted to ask you, actually,
Mhm.
I'll throw it back at you. If you had to choose, what would you rather see? Would you rather see women go back to the way they were before feminism, Or would you rather see men liberated from their masculine role?
I would rather I think the only solution to feminism is more feminism. So I would
Explain.
so I only think like when women start getting the same sentences as men,
Mhm.
that they might stop like hitting them, for example, right?
Mhm.
When they actually start being put in jail. Or, you know, women with the right to vote, when they start actually having consequences for what we vote for instead of being bailed out. That's more what I would like to see. I'd like to see more fair laws where we're actually equal under the law.
Okay, well, for example,
Mhm.
when we talk about false accusations, right? I've heard a lot of people, suggest the idea that there should be an equal punishment for a false accusation as if, you were convicted of that accusation.
Mhm.
But obviously, yeah, we need to have more accountability or, equal accountability, I guess, for these things because, if women don't have skin in the game, there's no incentive.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think that it comes down to the fact that I think, I don't know if it's necessarily, it's going to be a combination of asking more of women and maybe slightly less of men.
Well, and also women are having like, I'm one of 10 kids. We're having like 1.5. Like, I don't know if that's enough to be a housewife.
Well,
like one kid, you could go like be a teacher or something.
Well, I mean, is it, I read a
know,
comment this morning where
you're
someone
going-
said, is it surprising for women to expect women to want to have children when women are now expected to be in the workforce and providing even for themselves?
Well, yeah, but the average is 1.5.
Yeah.
So to me, men still want to have kids even though they have to work.
Right. It's true. Right.
Yeah. So I just don't think women want to be mothers as much as we originally thought. Because if we wanted to, we would have.
So how do you respond then when people say that, women naturally want to be that way? Like, in other words, if it was natural, why did it change?
I don't think it was. And the reason, what made me come to this conclusion? So it was, I couldn't believe how mad women got over abortion. It was like, that was the most visceral when I would debate women where they would just get so angry. And I'm like, why are you so angry over just a difference in opinion? And I used to fight really hard because my parents like adopted kids. And so pro-life was just something I kind of grew up with. But then I just realized that the infant mortality rate is very similar to the abortion rate today.
Wow.
So that leads, I don't have proof or evidence of this, but just anecdotally arguing with women and seeing how much they just fight to what I would view as abort their children, kill their children. I think it's always been like this. I think it's like now that social media is here, we can see what women actually are. Do you disagree or agree?
Well, I think that, yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I also think that as far as women wanting to be able to, it just comes down to the fact that women want to be able to have the choice to do that. I mean, obviously, I think that, I used to always kind of wonder about this. It's like, okay, well, the women who are having abortions, do we really want those women reproducing anyway and stuff? Because they're probably just going to raise more, male feminist children and stuff, I guess. So.
I mean, I just think it's useless to fight over it. Like they'll die. Like I think the pro-life movement, like, yeah, they got Roe versus Wade, but if you think a plan B is an abortion, which they do, I mean, those are like through the roof.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it going anywhere in my